Okay. Oh, I don't know if not- Coconut oil, milk extract, hyaluronic acid, soft and dry and rough skin, deep moisturizing to nourish hands and nails. Touch, add a lots of food. That's compatible. Yeah, man, I do a lot of dishes, so my hands are just really dry. So, let's see. Ooh, they smell so good. They smell so good. Oh, hi everyone. Waiting for you to join. They're fine. I know I'm not usually into the disposable stuff. It's kind of seems kind of wasteful and everything. I couldn't find anything. So I could actually find some decent really nice, just as a treat. Just treat my hands a little. Hi, Ganchi. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. You're almost always the first one here, quite often. How's it going? Hey. How are you guys? For some more people to join, we're going to keep it short and sweet today, as it is Sunday. Lord, all right. How long do I got? Let's see. They smell so good. They smell like coconut and shea butter or shea. It's got all the usual stuff, water, glycerin, all that. It's got safflower oil. It's got coconut oil. It's got cocoa, lavender, chamomile. Amber in my hands. Chapped hands. How's everyone doing? Monday morning. It's just a restless feeling so far behind. Oh man, you're making me want to play Resident Evil Zero. Like like I've mentioned before, I used to have a GameCube and that was one of my first games. It was yeah, one of my favorites back then. I liked that one and I liked Zelda. And I like Metroid too. I was not that good with Super Smash Brothers. All my siblings kicked my ass back in. Kicked my ass. It was mainly because I never played it, so I didn't have practice, and they're playing constantly. Which, okay, that makes it more, you know, more understandable. But still, I suck. Oh, these are intensive repairing gloves. They've got coconut oil, milk extract, and hyal- hyaluronic acid. My hands, I do a ton of dishes around here, and I've kind of damaged my nails with scraping off my nail polish whenever I mess it up because I'm too impatient to wait for my nail polish to dry, so I often mess up. So now my nails are kind of screwed. Um, so yeah, I'm just sort of repairing my hands here. Someone gave me gloves like these a little while back, and they really do make my hands super soft. They smell better though. They smell like Freaking shit. I love shea butter, man. I love it. Say my name, say my name. Oh, thank you. Thank you, so not Elena. Welcome to the channel. That's cool, man. Same like the LED light brush. Yeah. I'm not sure how much that actually works there. I never use it. That was given to me. I don't want to let it go to waste, but it's just I don't know, man. Is there any scientific uh consensus to back that up, or are we certain that the LED or the red light therapy for the hair does that work? I mean, probably depends. And that brush wasn't probably not that expensive. I looked it up and seems like if you're looking for like red light therapy, I guess you gotta go expensive for it to actually have an effect. I don't know. Just doesn't it seems pseudoscientific. I'm not sure. I'll look into it more. I should look into it more. I never really noticed any profound difference. Do you take any psychiatric medications to help you with recovery? Good question. Well, I'm on a Suboxone prescription, and that's mainly to help with cravings and to keep me from going through withdrawal. Um, but I don't really take anything other than that. Um, I take valerian root before going to bed. I take lion's mane in the morning. Not sure how effective that is exactly. Um, I drink my coffee. Have to have my coffee. That really helps me in the morning. I gotta have my coffee, boo. I have 3 cups a day on habit. Thank you very much, Ojan. I appreciate that, man. Yo, I'm so glad these gloves are like touch screen friendly. Thank you very much. Nice shirt. Thank you. It's Curse the Cowardly Dog, as I'm sure you know. Ooh, man, uh, tendon felt weird there. Any advice? My wife's boyfriend keeps eating all my steak and leaving me only potatoes. Well, that sucks. So sucks. Yo, man, like that'd be the least of my concerns. I mean, unless you're in some type of open relationship where everything is consensual. Everyone knows what's going on. Uh, you're funny. Dogs and animals help with recovery too. Oh yes, yes, absolutely. Shando's my angel, guys. He really does keep me on the straight and narrow. Anytime I'm feeling sad, having that dog nearby, he rests his jowlage on my feet and looks into my eyes with so much love. I recently watched a little video about dogs and the uh, domestication of dogs from wolves, and apparently they're finding like the whole gap. Like they have no, they really don't know when dogs were domesticated, but the gap is so broad. It's like between, gosh, if I'm remembering correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. It's somewhere between like I forget, like 6,000 and 40,000 years ago, 60,000. I gotta look that up. But they think that dogs domesticated themselves. You know, rather than us domesticating them, they followed us around because we left scraps. And that's way more likely. In fact, I've watched animal documentaries, nature documentaries about cougars. I think it was cougars following wolves, not the other way around. Yeah, cougars would be following wolves because the wolves would leave scraps. You know, they'd leave leftovers. So the cougar would follow this pack of wolves around us, somewhat of a distance away, just waiting for them to leave leftovers. Just a very smart cougar. All and they tracked this cougar, the scientists, all over the freaking landscape, following these wolves and benefiting from them. That's what they think happened with wolves and us, essentially. They saw us dropping bones and other scraps and decided, hey, I can benefit from that. I'm going to follow these people. And somewhere along the line, some human had to decide whether or not to spear that wolf or um, use it as a, or use them as a um, tool or you know aid of some sort. It's just fascinating. I just think that the evolution of dogs is so fascinating. Do you know pugs? Like, sorry, I got a runny nose today. Might be allergies. But did you know that pugs were bred in ancient China thousands and thousands of years ago? And that back when the emperor prized his pugs more than his empress, more than his wife. And they thought that pugs were the pupa of the dragon gods. Hi Heather, how's it going? Hey babe. Pugs were bred as pillows, yo. I would never buy a pug from a breeder. I grew up with a pug. I had a pug named Mason, or we did. I except that I spent like all my time with that pug. I took care of that pug pretty much. But here I even have a picture of him up here. It's his little he went to some disciplinary clinic for dogs, and pugs are known to be stubborn. In fact, when my parents took him to this clinic, there were four dogs there, or five. Out of all those dogs, like if it were like five dogs, four of them were pugs. Four of them. Oh, it was just pretty much all of them were pugs, which is unbelievable. This was before pugs were popular too. It's seriously Mason. I mean, wait a minute. Uh, yeah. Let's, just making sure there's no like fucking address on this thing. Yeah, good thing, man. Someone was clever enough to hide that with Sharpie. But there we go. There's Mason the pug there, man. Mason the pug says, my hobbies and interest. Okay, he was born in 1996. So I was 5 years old when he got on that checks out because we had a black lab named Shaq when I was a kid. And I used to joke around about Shaq bungee jumping. I remember we went to Fossil, Oregon with him. That was the last memory I had of him. I used to lay in the sun with him, too. This was before I was 5 years old. And my memories of this black Labrador are so clear. Some of my clear memories. That's how important dogs are to me in my life. They've been so, you know, uh, effective in my life. But let's see, my hobbies and interests. Mason's hobbies and interests are I like to snuggle and be a couch potato. They spelled potato wrong. They spelled it with an E at the end. Um, I am very good at both. I enjoy being with my family and getting to go where they go. Dude, look, just look at that face. Now he's Mason. He was also the runt of the litter. He didn't, you know how like most pugs are really robust and they got some muscle mass. Mason was basically all fat, no muscle, pretty much. I took him for walks too. Like when he was a puppy, he ran really fast, so fast. In fact, he'd go have the zoomies in his tail. His curly tail would go completely straight as he was running. but he got just slower and slower as he aged. I'd carry him all the way out of side of the house so that, like otherwise he'd resist to the point where his jowlage would overlap his whole freaking head. And there were times when on a summer day, we live in the freaking suburbs, and Mason would run out to the street and just splay down on his back in the middle of the freaking street. And then I'd hear a car honking. And I'd rush out and see Mason just sprawled out on the street. In the car, just like honk, honk. I pick Mason up, scoop him up into my arms. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I race him back into the house. And then he just runs right back out there. That's so funny. Mason was a funny, funny dog. Sure. He didn't live as long as a lot of small dogs do. I don't know if that's because I think he had some health issues from the get go. Because he's a runt. Also, he was inbred quite a bit. I, I mean, aren't all purebred dogs kind of inbred? But Mason wasn't as healthy as the other dogs, and he only lived to be like 11. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when we got him too, so clearly. I remember exactly where I was sleeping, and I'm fucking man, I was 5 years old. I was sleeping in the corner on the floor. We had carpet, but I was sleeping on the floor next to the bookcase, right in front of the stairway, and someone woke me up at like 6 a.m., 5, really early, so early that it was dark outside, and said to me, "Hey, we're gonna go get another dog." And I was so excited. We went to the breeder's house, and all these pugs were playing, and those memories seem like fever dreams now from back then. But I remember he was just as small as a beanie baby. My mom carried him. My mom held him in the car. It was Mason. Hi there. Yeah, Curse the Cowardly Dog is a five. Thank you. Thank you guys. Yeah, I like this shirt too. No, I'm not from India. No. I don't have any Indian in me actually. It's all English, Welsh, and little Danish. I'm American. I'm an American mutt, but with mostly English. A lot of English from both sides. Likely have some Scottish. Pothead courage. Yeah, dude, doesn't he look like a pothead here? Except that his eyes aren't red. Looks more like he has like jaundice or liver disease in some of these. Some of them he has white, healthy eyes. And some of them they're yellow. He's been getting into what's the slang term like for whiskey? Getting into grandpa's cupboard or whatever. Hey, thank you, Robbie. Hi, darling. Love your eyes. I'm from Australia. Well, hello there. Australia is a cool place. Yo, today, speaking of which, I was watching a documentary about kangaroos today. Or not documentary, but just it was a video about the different types of kangaroos. And there are so many different like subspecies of kangaroo. I never would have thought that. There's one that's kind of like a cross between a wallaby and a kangaroo, and it's a lot shorter and stockier, fatter, with a wallaby like nose, big nose. And there's the red kangaroo, the largest, and there's like this gray kangaroo, and they can basically stand right on their tail. They can, balance their whole freaking body weight on their tail. Just crazy. Um, it's like I forget how many because I didn't watch the whole video, but it seemed like there were like 7 or 8 different types of kangaroo. Gotta look that up. In fact, I'll share some of my information on that. They got cat in the hat gloves. Man, yo, even when I was a kid, I thought the Cat in the Hat was a creep. I thought the Cat in the Hat was creepy when I was a kid. And I learned to read with Dr. Seuss when I was little. We had a really good way of getting kids to read in this house. I was homeschooled. And basically, we'd have a piece, my mom would just get out a piece of printer paper and she would illustrate this pathway divided into little boxes, right? So it's like the yellow brick road. And it would lead up to this cartoon house with a bush on either end, a rainbow, whatever. And so within each of these boxes, respectively, we'd have a book that we'd have to finish. And once that was finished, we'd color that square in with whatever color we wanted. And and just one square after the other, finishing books off. Once we reached that house at the very top, we got to go out for a for an ice cream sundae. And that was those were some good days, man. Thank you, Bill. Oh yes, and they can be very dangerous. Big reds, they can open your stomach with their back legs, disembowel when they're sitting on their tails, but in general, they are pretty cool. Yeah. I've heard they're kind of a pest on golf courses. I don't. I've never been. Actually, I think I would enjoy golf in good company. In good company. As far as like sport goes, if I could choose any sport like activity to partake in, dude, I'd be more into like swimming, or I'd want to try skydiving, or kayaking, or fishing, or even like going to a shooting range. Man, I didn't fucking love to try that. Just like target practice. Uh, I mean, but as far as ball sports go, um, as far as ball sports go, I think I'd enjoy something like tennis. Am I a nurse? No, not. But actually, we have a lot of nurses in my family. We have quite a few nurses in my family. My grandma was also a dental assistant. She was named Jesus is Lord. He loves you. He desires a relationship with you. Absolutely. Well, thank you, man. Yeah. Um, I I was raised Catholic, and we prayed the rosary every night. When I moved out of the house, went to college and everything, I was with my ex, and I would take him to church with me, and he just kind of butter me up by saying things like, "Oh, I feel so warm when I go to church with you. There's just a warm atmosphere." He was just all into it. But later on, it was just that manipulation that he was just became known for. It was like all of a sudden he'd start, saying like, telling me all these reasons why God doesn't exist and why he doesn't want to go to church with me. He hates it. He just like total 180 once he got my pants. And so that was really weird. And he started to make me feel really guilty about believing in God. He was really good at it. Um, Basically, like, and just, I was 19 or 20. I was super naive. If I were older, man, I'd have a completely different outlook. If I were wiser, a completely different outlook. And he was my first, and being homeschooled night, prior to that, and naive, and just kind of trying to explore the world, I started thinking, like, am I being closed minded? Maybe I'm being closed minded. Like what proof is there that there's a God? Who am I to say that a God exists when I have no proof? Like, how can I be so arrogant you know? And those type of thoughts, like, and his arguments were kind of dumb. Some of them, I was like, oh, what if a God exists? Why are people allowed to suffer? Well, I mean, that's kind of like the whole point of original sin and all that. But um, anyway, so I was agnostic for like became agnostic for like 10 years, and then but I'd still pray to God sometimes. In the in the sense that I would address him like, God, if you do exist, please show me a sign or something like that. I find that God answers my prayers a lot more when I put everything into his hands. I say, if it be thy will, dear Lord, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so, and the whole atmosphere around that cafe where I work, people were constantly bad mouthing God, saying bad, just mean things about Christians and poo pooing Christianity. And I kept my mouth shut. Um, anyway, so around the time I went cold turkey and went through recovery and my best friend passed away and all this shit happened, I uh I started praying more and my faith was renewed. Also, I think it's really trippy how I chose Saint Maximilian Kolbe as my patron saint when I was 17 years old. I didn't know what drugs were back then. I was just super naive. I didn't know anything. Um, but I chose Saint Maximilian. I had like five different saints that I wanted to choose from. I'd known about Saint Maximilian Kolbe at that point far less than I knew about all the other saints I loved. I had childhood saints, like Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus was my favorite. I liked Saint Francis of Assisi. I liked Saint Faustina. Um, there are several saints that I could have chosen. Joan of Arc. There are a lot of them that I loved, but I was so fascinated with Maximilian Kolbe, Saint Maximilian Kolbe's story and his courage, and the fact that he's a more modern saint. I know exactly what he looks like. I chose at that time I was fascinated, so I chose him. Well, later on, I'd been an addict for a few years at that point. I found out that he is the patron saint of drug addicts. He's the patron saint of drug addicts, eating disorders, which I've dealt with since I was a kid. Drug addicts, eating disorders, families, and a few other things that may or may not be relevant to my life. I mean, there's amateur radio operator, um, journalists, one of them. Few things. Really, really quite tricky. What's up with the gloves? Oh, these are intensive repairing gloves because my hands are super dried and chapped from doing a lot of chores around here. You know what I mean? And someone gave some to me a little while back, and they really seem to they really feel good. They make my hands feel so smooth, and they've got coconut oil and shea butter. Pretty good deal. Leave on for 20 minutes, huh? Okay. Yeah. Don't even remember when I started this live stream, so it's probably been on long enough. Helps heal and repair extra dry hands and weak nails. Yes, because I got weak ass nails right now. Intensive hydration for soft, smooth, and healthy looking hands and strong nails. Enriched with essential oils and floral extracts. Smells like shea butter and coconut to me. Touch screen compatible. Oh, God. Uh, see, see if this has shea butter in it. I think it must, because it smells so freaking. Yeah, it does have shea butter. It's one of the first ingredients. Love it. Oh, hi, sorry, I forget how to pronounce your name, but Filippo, Filippo, Filippo. Thank you. Hey, well, Darnell, you suck. You suck and you probably don't spend much time around real women because you're one of those guys who thinks that we all have the same freaking body type. And unless we all look like Kim Kardashian in a way, or whoever, or either that or just, uh, Christina Hendricks, whatever, I guess we're not real women. I know what's up with all the trolls. This is a very wholesome live stream we have going on here, I think. Thank you, user. Yo, Kim Kardashian is annoying. She's annoying. Like when she destroyed when she destroyed Marilyn Monroe's dress, I was like, wow, why would they let her do that? Why the fuck would they let her do that, dude? What a joke. What a fucking joke. Like, Marilyn Monroe obviously rolled in her grave when that happened. I like Christina Hendricks, though. She's a babe. She's in Mad Men. She's super curvy, man. Like, most women don't have a body like that. People like to act like that's the way all women should look, or just like, that's not, no, we come in different shapes and sizes. Short, tall, lanky, stocky, fat, thin, muscular, endomorph, ectomorph, mesomorph. I've always been I'm 5'7" and I've always been lanky. I've always had long limbs and I've always been kind of skinny. No eating disorders. I've had eating disorders. It has very little to do with vanity. Some of it is, but most of it, deep down, is a need for control in one's life over something. And I had very controlling people in my life when I was a kid. And my mom. Yeah, I tried to get more muscle. Tried to get more muscles to lift some weights. Jesus Christ is the one and only true God. Amen. Drake wants to be Michael Jackson, and Kim wants to be Marilyn. I know, it's so cringe. So cringe because they'll never amount to those two people. I don't even like Drake. Creep. I didn't like him before all the controversy about him came out. He was like, I didn't happen. I don't know. I forget this one. Because I don't listen to him. He's annoying. His voice is his whole cadence is fucking annoying. Publicity by trolls. Yeah, I just fucking fuck them. It's like they're giving me engagement. Cool beans. It's better off that I just ignore them for the most part. Unless, I'll probably hide or block people who are talking about like saying things like, oh, uh, go use heroin or putting other people down maliciously. I don't like that. But it's the same old dumb shit. Just whatever. Free marketing. Someone said I gained weight. Okay, so I don't, I don't think I have because my clothes fit the same. But whatever. They're only saying that because I said I had an eating disorder. I've had an eating disorder. I eat very healthy right now. But they're saying that because they know that triggers people who've dealt with eating disorders like that. Just eating what I'm talking about. Bugs. They're trying to, you know, they don't even see my whole body. Like I don't look any different than I always do. But yeah, they're trying to trick them. That's the only reason he said that, is to try to trick them. And it's not working. Feel like people are trying to get me to tell them right away, honestly. Trying to get me to go, oh, really? No. Mm, mm-mm. But yeah, I actually it's fun you should say that because I actually haven't gained any weight, but like whatever. I know people are saying not to try to trick them. And that's honestly, I am very thin. It's not a bad, wouldn't be a bad thing if I gained 5. It really wouldn't be. These gloves are for hydration and repair. It's made of shea butter, coconut oil, and all that. Lavender, chamomile. Addiction is a mofo. Everything is okay in moderation, but once it takes hold, it's another story, and that is most people's downfall. Yeah, yeah, but it's a slippery slope. And a lot of people experiment with shit. They don't go back to it. In fact, when most people, when they start do heroin for the first time, they get sick or they throw up. And they're like, I'm not going to do that again. But in my mind, I was around people who been doing it for years, and they said to me like, "Oh, you know what? You're gonna feel sick at first, but it's gonna feel so much better later." And so I had that in mind, knowing that the sickness is gonna be over, and then I'm gonna feel good like they are. And I'm like, wow, wow, I was so fucking weak. Do I believe in salting my chicken? I salt, of course. We all I season. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Keep pushing and helping others get through hard times. Thank you very much, man. It's all I can really hope for here. I'm glad that my content is helpful. And people, I can't tell you how much it means to me when people come to my DMs and tell me that my content's actually helping them to not crave drugs, to want to get better and better their lives. That makes this all so worth it. And I really appreciate you supporting me, guys. I really appreciate you supporting this channel. I would love to keep it going. I would love to reach more people and help more people. You know, I'm here for a reason. Because I'm sure we've all had some rough times, most of us here. And all we can really do is try to better ourselves presently and for in preparation for a better future. The past is the past. We can learn from it and keep going. That's resilience. That's perseverance. That's what makes us humans capable of so many things. When there's a will, there's a way. Hey, I'm doing good, Daniel. How are you doing, man? It's very helpful to me too. Love the shorts and lives. It helps feel connected and discuss ideas. Absolutely, lemons. I'm really happy to hear that. Or read that. Past is the past. I know it's a what's the word for that? There's a word for that. Tautology? It's like saying it is what it is. Kind of redundant, but it does make sense at the same time. It's like profound, but not, you know, a tautology. I think I learned that word in a philosophy class. I'll look that up. Some of these guys get so triggered to see a woman thriving and or not, I don't know about, well, you know, persevering and resilient and strong willed. I think some pisses off some guys when women are strong willed and persevering because it reflects on what a weak ass motherfucker they are. And their poor little wee widow egos can't stand. I must have looked to see if I got that word right. So like, maybe it's tautology. Yes. A tautology, yes, it's the needless repetition of an idea, either by using different words that mean the same thing in literature or by structuring a statement so that it is logically guaranteed to be true and logical. It is essentially saying the same thing twice. Yeah, so it is what it is as a tautology word of the day. We should do that, guys. We should have like a vocabulary lesson. Every time I have a live stream, we should look up, learn a new word, and that'll be our word of the day. We get smarter with every live stream. Yeah. I love vocabulary. That sounds good. I used to always do that with my best friend Adrian. Word of the day. We'd learn a new word each day. Here's a painting I created of my best friend, by the way, for anyone who hasn't seen it. I'm sure a lot of you have. This is oil on panel. So get that light on there a little better there. Yeah. Oil on panel. Getting myself some more sandpaper. I need a little few more supplies for that artwork work on painting them. Thank you, Elnine. Thank you, Smokestack Lightning. Thank you, JJ. Thank you, Filippo. Portuguese. I would love to go to Portugal. It's where Our Lady of Fatima took place. Thank you, Hippocrates. Thank you, Larry. Happy Sunday. Think crazy how many people who have been through or are going through addiction have massive artistic talent. Well, thank you, Tom. I've loved to paint or, draw since I was a little kid. People like my mom found a bunch of little cat doodles in her textbooks from when I was just 3 years old. Do you shampoo your eyebrows? No, I don't. I wash my face with regular soap or just, face soap. It's okay to cry and show emotions. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. As long as, it's not, as long as it's sincere. Some people pretend to cry or fake emotions. Yeah, nothing wrong with crying, truly. Shows that you have some humanity, that just, you've got some sensitivity and that can be harnessed or cultivated for good purposes, you know? A lot of artists are sensitive like that. A lot of them express their sensitivity in their art or through nurturing and loving and giving to others, that they care about, or just seeing beauty in the world in general. It's all connected, you know. A lot of us have a hard time harnessing that energy. It's you just gotta focus. You just gotta focus that energy into good things, and not negative things, positive things. Tater tots are pretty good with ketchup. I won't eat them without ketchup. Yeah, I was gonna share my info. Ah, I think I can take these off. It feels so moist. Anyone see a Cinderella story? So moist. I'll bet that's where the hatred for that word came from this from Jennifer Coolidge in that movie. So moist. You look like the 4th of July. Makes me want a hot dog real bad. Makes me want a hot dog real bad. I don't know if I'm that good. Somehow I'm better at doing like male character impersonations. I can do some female characters, but for some reason I'm not as good. It's the cadence. It's the rise in the lids. You sent your creation on Discord? Cool. I'll take a look at that a little later. Nice. How are you doing, Squishy? Squishy Mew Mews? Hey, Rick from Oregon. Fellow Oregonian. Hello, hello. Yeah, Jennifer Coolidge is that good. She's one of my favorite character actresses. I like her. I like Catherine O'Hara. I like who else is relevant? I like who's that woman from Sweeney Todd who married Tim Burton? Helena Bonham Carter. I like her too. I think my favorite actors are I like Robin Williams. I like Harry Dean Stanton and John Hurt. In recovery too. Much love and love your top. Thank you, Monkey. Monkey Majimaru. Courage for life. Absolutely. Such a good show. Who is Shando the dog? He's my dog. Yeah, he's a good boy. Well, he's sleeping on the pool floor. It's hot, so it's like 90 degrees or something. But yeah, he's right there, just resting the paws. Resting the paws. Such a sweetheart. He's a good boy. He's my sweetheart. He looks so cozy right there. Tony Collette. The only Collette I'm familiar with is the writer. I have a few books by her. Gigi, whole compilation of them, and I have Vagabond. There's some good books by her. I quitted smoking. It's my third day. Oh, good for you, man, and keep it up. Keep it up. You're gonna feel a lot freer without that. You know, that's a real addiction right there. Cigarettes. In fact, they're I've heard, not sure if this is entirely accurate, that they are harder to quit than heroin. Thing is, heroin isn't available in every convenience store you pass down the street, and that's probably why, but still, they're very hard to quit. I was a cigarette addict to a pack and a half a day. So that's impressive. You're gonna feel freer. You're gonna feel not tethered to it. Your lungs are gonna feel so much better. You're not gonna be winded as much. You're gonna be able to run up staircases. I mean, I don't really know you that well, but quitting cigarettes has a profound effect on your health in a good way. Obviously. I used to do heroin and I still smoke. Yeah. I, I mean, that's why I vape. It's damage control. It's not an excuse. I know it's not good, but um, I found when I was smoking cigarettes, my lungs were really starting to hurt and they were inflamed. So I didn't know how the fudge I was going to quit them because I have to have 'em, you know? So yeah, my lungs feel a lot better. And good thing the popcorn lung is all a myth because I was scared of that too for a little while. Cigarettes are easier than vaping. Yeah, yeah, vaping is really hard to quit. It is. I wonder which one's actually harder. I'd look at that. See what the statistics are of people who try to stop vaping as opposed to smoking cigarettes. Maybe it's because everyone knows how bad cigarettes are. They smell like death, whereas these smell like fruit popsicle. And people might be sort of tricked. You just sort of psychologically into thinking that it's better for you. Like it's just easier to constantly. In fact, I could just be laying back on my bed, prop this up on my clavicular, and just like in my bed while I'm watching stuff, which is very unbecoming. Yo, yeah, most things taken out of moderation are bad. You know, exercising too much isn't even good. It's not good to jog on hard cement. That's not good for your knees. It's better to go hiking through the woods, just like on a more of a dirt path, a softer ground, uh, different levels of terrain. It's not good to just chomp, bump, 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 stomp, stomp, stomp on hard flat cement. People who like runners are known for having knee problems in their later life. Vaping is so much better and healthier. I have no evidence to back that up, just my opinion. Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as cigarettes, that's for sure. That's why it's kind of like damage control. It's not as expensive, but it's kind of secondary. That's secondary to health. That's yeah, that for health and expensive. A lot of people find vaping unbecoming, you know. There are people who just hate vaping because they don't like the way it looks, which I don't. It's like whatever. I know it's not healthy, but it's not as bad as cigarettes. It's definitely not as bad as. I mean, Google, are vapes worse? Vaping worse than cigarettes? Vaping exposes you to fewer toxic chemicals than traditional cigarettes, making it generally less harmful for long-term smokers. However, vaping is not safe, like I just said. Um, it can still cause severe cellular damage, heavy metal exposure, lung inflammation, iron contamination. Um, oh, this was like 5%. Yeah, not good. They haven't been around as long either, so like we don't know the full extent of how damaging they can be compared to cigarettes either. Cigarettes have been around forever. But yeah, I don't. They're probably not as bad as cigarettes. Just full blown nicotine. A cigarette with no harmful effects was researched, soon developed, but never went into production. Oh, that's crazy. Really, I know that. Yeah, yeah. I get what you mean about that's crazy. Cigarettes cause carbon dioxide buildup in the blood. Vapes don't. Yeah. Big tobacco is vamping you moron. They just change enough ingredients to be legal. Wow. Okay. Yeah, screw you. Filter releases microtoxins upon eating. Yeah. No, of course. Like I said, I'm aware that it's not good. Duh. Mhm. I'm not trans, but whatever. Weirdo. It's almost. You know what I think? Sometimes I wonder actually if these guys call women trans so that we'll flash them our tatas in order to prove ourselves. All I gotta do is stand up and you see the width of my hips. Like if archaeologists thousands of years from now were to dig up my skeleton from some grave, they would find that I'm a woman just by my skeletal remains, just by the width of my pelvis. They'd be able to tell that I'm a woman. So you're a dumb fuck. They gotta know unless they're just freaking retarded. Mm, okay. My hands feel so smooth now. So nice. It's so sus. Hi, you over here for now. Like my little duck lamp. Oh, it's a light. Okay, I think I need to charge that thing. Charge it, charge it, charge it, charge it. Oh, there we go. She's cute. Or he. Look, isn't it cute? They have a whole bunch of these on Amazon too. They have a capybara one. Oh, I want to get the capybara one now. I want to get that one. Okay. And they have pandas. They have an one that's called an existential duck that's just like laying down on its side like I give up. Okay. And my Discord and my Cash App, PayPal, Instagram. By the way, you can find a lot of my art on my Instagram. Okay. Insta Anna dot Katrina dot art. Well, and my Discord is emerald, like the stone, underscore wing, like the fairy wing, underscore 13473. No, 3. 13473. So it's emerald underscore wing underscore 13473. Let me just pin that. Okay. Making sure we got the right one. Okay, we're good. So yes, please like and subscribe, guys. It's very appreciated when you guys support my channel. It's very, very much appreciated. Anyone know what she is talking about? What the heck? Whatever. Yeah, trolls, 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 troll. 36. Yeah, and I'm 35. Yes. Yeah, I like men. Existential duck. Yeah, I can show that to you too, man. Show that to you. So cute. Let's see. Um, Voyager. Yeah, there we go. There's our existential duck right here. It's cute. That's our existential duck. Mm, that funny. That's cute. That's adorable. It's- 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 it's like Ooh, they have a dragon. Ew. What's that dragon? Oh, you see the cat? You see the cat? Used to capybara guys. Isn't it cute? Aww. Be authentic no matter what. No apology for being you. Thank you, Jim. Absolutely. Back at you, man. Yeah. Yeah. I should, try to vape less. And I shouldn't do it as much on my stream either. I mean, I should care what people think because a lot of people just don't like the way it looks. They could care less for my health. Some people. Uh, but yeah, it's a little bit. Mm, I don't know. Might seem a little unbecoming. But yeah, I mean, it's something here I'm really not aware of. It's just is what it is. I've overcome a lot of addictions. I was a heroin addict for 6 years. I was cigarette smoker for over a decade. Um, trying to smoke weed less. Managed to not do that for a month. And I have nothing against weed whatsoever. It helps a lot of people. But when I overdo it, which I tend to do, can't be doing it first thing in the morning. Otherwise, I'm not going to get anything done until like freaking evening time. So, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'll get a couple of things done, but not as much, not as motivated. I am what I am. Also, yep. That's a tautology. Mind your business. I agree. You know, I mean, unless people truly, truly care and they know me as a friend or whatever, a lot of people say they can care less about my health. They're just there to preach and to be self righteous and to, and they don't like how it looks because it isn't like, in a sense, it's not ladylike or it's unbecoming. Notice like I watch other live streams sometimes and I see a lot of people vaping on their streams, which isn't I'm not saying that's good. But, like, I noticed that when dudes do it, no one says a darn thing. And one time someone did say something to this guy, and a bunch of people in the comments said, "He's a grown man, let him do what he wants." Like, with me, it's and other women, it seems like people are, they just don't like seeing because it's unbecoming or whatever. Which it's not a good reason to quit just because it looks fun. One should want to quit simply because it doesn't benefit your health. It isn't good for your health in really any way, shape, or form. I, s- you know, I relapsed on cigarettes once, and not that long ago. I had a few, and yes, I really crave cigarettes. I'm really trying not to get back to cigarettes because those are really, as we all know, really bad. Yes, I am still sober, still kicking, still surviving. Got my dog here. Got my dog Shando. He's always here for me. Yes, I'm always here for him. And the issue is that there is no issue, and that is the issue of the issue. Yes, it is very easy to go right back to it as part of the chemicals still in your system. Yeah, but we do recover. It isn't impossible for us to see the bigger picture in life. You either, like with heroin. With heroin, it's either all or it's the heroin or life. You can't have both. You discard life and choose heroin, or you discard heroin and you choose life. And I choose the latter. I have Shando, I've got God in my life, I've got friends, I've got family, I've got my art, I've got video games, I've got good books, I've got um I've got exercise and nature and fun, camping, backpacking, swimming, going on road trips, making new friends, meeting new people, learning new things. I choose all that over her, over that dark, lonely existence, curled up in a fetal position, smoking cigarette after cigarette, burning my mattress with my cigarette, living in absolute filth and not caring because I'm on heroin, neglecting my dental health, neglecting my health in general, not eating, not sleeping. I don't want to live that way anymore. And when I think about that stuff, I do not even crave it. I know where it's gonna lead. I know what I know what'll happen if I go back and do that. Adding another burden on my dad's shoulders, hurting the people I love. Never shall. And when I started out, getting clean from heroin, weed was actually really good at it. Prevented the drug dreams, and the drug dreams, man, they're dangerous. Like you've got no idea how very vivid they are, how vivid drug dreams are. At least this is a nice mascara. No. So, yeah. A lot of people can't fathom like how I can actually stay away from heroin. Oh, you're gonna go back. Oh, I'm predicting it. Oh, you're once a junkie, always a junkie mindset. I don't believe that one bit. There are people out there, lots of people, not as many as people who don't succeed, unfortunately. But a lot of people who do heroin, they come from broken families or loss of lack of connection, there's something missing or shitty in their lives already, and they're still trying to cope. in the only way that they know how, you know? When there's a will, there's a way, and when there's hope to be, eh, like when you have foresight and hope for a good future, and you know that you can be happy again, you have memories of better, brighter, wholesome days. You can strive for that and not the heroin. And with time it does get better. But some people as heroin addicts, they become so lost, but I've seen them get back up. I've seen them survive that shit and make a difference in other people's lives. And that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, these are just repairing moisturizing gloves because my hands are really dry from doing dishes and chores and such. I should wear my latex gloves more, but I forget to do that. I go in the kitchen and I'm cooking, and then I start doing dishes while I'm doing that. I have my gloves in there. Don't fall in the spiral of negative thoughts. You're doing great. Thank you, Ganshi. Absolutely, absolutely. Dexter series is good. Yo, I've never even seen that show. I've heard it's really good. It's about a serial killer basically who but he kills bad guys, right? He goes after bad guys. So I bet it's a bit of a moral philosophical uh kind of conundrum where, you know, sure a lot of people when they watch that show they're like, is it bad? Yeah, yeah, because it's not my right to play God. Best thing one can do is call the cops. Remember this. To be if it's to be, it's up to me. Hang in there. Thank you. If it's to be, it's up to me. Absolutely. I love that, man. Oh, I love that. If it's to be, it's up to me. Write that down. I like that. If it's to be, it's up to me. Mm. Mm. Where my notebooks go? I gotta find my notebooks. What I need. Go write it down. Listen. Up to be. Mm. If it's to be, it's up to me. That's funny. I just realized that every word from that sentence is just two letters. If it's to be, it's up to me. That's kind of satisfying. How do you purify your third eye? I don't know much about the third eye, man, but I would say prayer is good. Just trying to get all the moisture out of here. Ooh, that's a shaya. Shaya bada. Shaya bada. Got the shando. That was wrong. Um, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Amen. That's what's up. Absolutely. Gosh, smells so good though. See how much you can get out. Da, 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 da. Don't ask. Make the most of it. Yes, absolutely. That's what's up. I'm gonna end this live stream at around 8 o'clock. We're gonna end this live stream now with a few Bible verses, okay? We'll do that. Sound like a good plan? Just let me moisturize my hands here. I don't like to waste any of the goodness. I know what some of you guys are thinking. Oh, I know what some of you guys are thinking. I'm glad you wrote that down. My grandpa said that to me. Always remember it's simple but true. Absolutely. Some of the simplest phrases are the most wise and important to remember for sure. Every sober day is a beautiful day. Absolutely. Every day I'm clean. Every day you're clean is a victory. One day after another, one foot in front of the other. Just keep on trucking as this. Think Art Crumb coined that phrase. Keep on trucking. I love Art Crumb. He's one of my favorite cartoonists. He's so good with the cross hatching method. He's just so freaking good. Dude. Keep up the good work. I'm 40 years and 5 months clean and sober, one day at a time. Thank you, Lazy H Acres. Absolutely. Good on you, man. Bro from the Great Gatsby. Are you talking about Toby Maguire or Leonardo DiCaprio? I read the book before I saw the movie. Um, it was a good movie. I like Toby Maguire. He's a good actor, actually. There's this new movie called Brothers. It has Jake Gyllenhaal in it, and I want to see it because it's free on YouTube. Because there's this one scene from that movie, this clip I saw, where he gets so free. It has Natalie Portman too, where he gets so angry because I guess his wife cheated on him, and you would not expect this kind of rage from Toby Maguire, dude. It was just so raw and so intense. I wish I could show it to you here. Maybe I'll share it on my Discord server because that's a movie I really want. That's the next movie I'm actually gonna see and make myself some popcorn and watch that movie. I like Toby Maguire. He's good. He and Leonardo DiCaprio were a good choice for that movie too, The Great Gatsby, because they were friends back in the 90s, so they have good chemistry. Really good chemistry, actually. I love seeing actors with good you can tell they have really good chemistry in a movie. For everyone hating on this, okay, Battlefield, but I'm not trans. But I appreciate I appreciate you sticking up for me, man. I'm a woman through and through. You know, born a woman, always have been. No, nothing's gonna change that. You know, people either love Leonardo DiCaprio or they don't. There's hardly any in between. Like I know a lot of people love him and a lot of people don't. A lot of people are like, oh, he's not a good actor. A lot of people are like, oh, he's great. Same with Keanu Reeves. A lot of people love him because he seems like a good person in real life. And he's just, you can tell in his interviews that he's a down to earth, just cool guy. But then there are people who are like, oh, he can't act. He's like freaking wooden. I think he was perfect for Neo in the Matrix, man. I don't think anyone else could have played Neo from the Matrix like he did. Same with Lawrence Fishburne's role. Same with the guy who played Agent Smith, Elron. And love ya and praying for you in Jesus' name. Thank you, man. What about Sydney Sink? I don't know who that is. Hydration is the one way out to clean. Well, it's good to stay hydrated for sure. It's good for your brain, rejuvenates all your cells. Plenty of water and sleep, very important. And remember, eat all the colors of the rainbow in your diet. And don't forget your micros with your macros. I can forget my micros sometimes. I don't eat enough greens from time to time. And they're expensive. I really love arugula with olive oil. Just like kind of rub that in, make it kind of wilted. I like your food shorts. So yummy. Are you mostly vegetarian? Actually, no, not really. I not by choice. I mean, kinda. I don't eat as much meat as I used to. I love meat though. I love fish. I eat sardines a lot. I had sardines today. Um, I had a hamburger patty with dinner. I had those beans on rice and with some Mexican sour cream, a beef patty, and an egg. And my cream of wheat's it's definitely not vegan. It's made with whole milk and all that good stuff. I just really love my cream of wheat in the morning. It's just comfort food. Otherwise, it's like I love meat. I love eating meat. It's so good for you. It's so healthy. I need the iron. Leo wasn't in the Matrix. No, no, he wasn't. No, I was talking about Keanu Reeves as well. But yeah, I like him. I like them both. I'm not a huge fan of Leonardo DiCaprio though. Not a huge fan. He was good in the Basketball Diaries, so he depicted a very um intense portrayal of heroin addiction in the Basketball Diaries. That was actually, I think that movie is underrated as far as just a movie about drug addiction and heroin. It was it seemed accurate to me, his performance. I love Keanu Reeves too. I like him more than Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know why really. I just like him more. I liked him in My Private Idaho, and he was really good in the Shakespeare. Actually, it's not his best, but he was good in it. Much Ado About Nothing and The Matrix was his best. You got the silver, you got the gold, you got the flowers. Leonardo ain't nothing compared to Keanu. I mean, I should separate their like personal weirdness from their craft, from their art, their acting. But Leonardo DiCaprio is known for ditching every girlfriend or wife who turns 25 and goes for someone younger. I find that really creepy. Keanu doesn't seem like he'd do such a thing, you know. Let's read some Bible verses since it's over 8 o'clock. Hey guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. Okay, let's go to a random verse first. Samuel, chapter 9, verse 5. When they came to the land of Zuph, Saul said to his servant who was with him, "Come, let us go back, lest my father cease to care about the asses and become anxious about us." But he said to him, "Behold, there is a man of God in the city, and he is a man that is held in honor. All that he says comes true. Let us go then." Then Saul said to his servant, "But if we go, what can we bring the man? For the bread in our sacks is gone, and there is no present to bring to the man of God. What have we?" The servant answered Saul again, "Here, I have with me the fourth part of a shekel of silver, and I will give it to the man of God to tell us our way. Formerly in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, he said, Come, let us go to the seer, for he who is now called a prophet was formerly called a seer. And Saul said to his servant, Well said, come, let us go. So they went to the city where the man of God was. Here we go. Sirach, chapter 10, uh, chap- chapter 10, verse 4 to 5. The government of the earth is in the hands of the Lord, and over it he will raise up the right man for the time. The success of a man is in the hands of the Lord, and he confers his honor upon the person of the scribe. Okay, Lamentations of Jeremiah. Let's go read some of one. How lonely sits the city that was full of people. How like a widow has she become. She that was great among the nations, she that was a princess among the cities, has become a vassal. She weeps bitterly in the night, tears on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, she has none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They have become her enemies. Judah has gone into exile because of affliction and hard servitude. She dwells now among the nations, but finds no resting place. Her pursuers have all overtaken her in the midst of her distress. The roads to Zion mourn, for none come to the appointed feasts. All her gates are desolate, her priests groan, her maidens have been dragged away. She herself suffers bitterly. Her foes have become the head, her enemies prosper. Because the Lord has made her suffer for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children have gone away, captives before the foe. From the daughter of Zion has departed all her majesty. Her princes have become like harts that find no pasture. They fled without strength before the pursuit. Jerusalem remembers in the days of her affliction and bitterness all the precious things that were hers from the days of old, when her people fell into the hand of the foe, and there was none to help her. The foe gloated over her, mocking at her downfall. Jerusalem sinned grievously, therefore she became filthy. All who honored her despise her, for they have seen her nakedness. Yeah, she herself groans, turns her face away. Her uncleanliness, her uncleanness was in her skirts. She took no thought of her doom, therefore her fall is terrible. She has no comforter. O Lord, behold my affliction, for the enemy has triumphed. The enemy has stretched out his hands over all her precious things. Yeah, she has seen the nations invade her sanctuary, those whom thou didst forbid to enter thy congregation. All her, oh, baby, just a minute, honey, I'm almost done. All her people groan as they search for bread. They trade their treasures for food to revive their strength. Look, O Lord, and behold, for I am despised. Want me to open that door for you? Okay, I'm gonna close the door though. All right. continue. All the precious things that were hers from days of old, when her people fell into the hand of the foe. And there was, so let me start right. From the daughter of Zion has departed all her majesty. Her princes have become like harts that find no pasture. They fled without strength before the pursuer. Jerusalem remembers in the days of her affliction and bitterness all the precious things that were hers from days of old, when her people fell into the hand of the foe, and there was none to help her. Foe gloated over her, mocking at her downfall. Jerusalem sinned grievously, therefore she became filthy. All who honored her despised her, for they have seen her nakedness. Yeah, she herself groans and turns her face away. Her uncleanness was in her skirts. She took no thought of her doom. Therefore her fall is terrible. She has no comforter. O Lord, behold my affliction, for the enemy has triumphed. The enemy has stretched out his hands over all her precious things. Yeah, she has seen the nations invade her sanctuary. Those who did, those whom thou didst forbid to enter thy congregation. All her people groan as they search for bread. They trade their treasures for food to revive their strength. Look, O Lord, and behold, for I am despised. It is nothing to you, all you who pass by. Look and see if there is any sorrow like my sorrow, which was brought upon me, which the Lord inflicted on the day of his fierce anger. From on high he sent fire, into my bones he made it descend. He spread a net for my feet, he turned me back. He has left me stunned, faint all the day long. My transgressions were bound into a yoke. By his hand they were fastened together. They were set upon my neck. He caused my strength to fail. The Lord gave me into the hands of those whom I cannot withstand. The Lord flouted all of my mighty men. In the midst of them, he summoned an assembly against me to crush my young men. The Lord has trodden as in a winepress, the virgin daughter of Judah. For these things I weep, my eyes flow with tears, for a comforter is far from me, one to revive my courage. Children are desolate, for the enemy has prevailed. Zion stretches out her hands, but there is none to comfort her. The Lord has commanded against Jacob that his neighbors should be his foes. Jerusalem has become a filthy thing among them. The Lord is in the right, for I have rebelled against his word. But hear, all you peoples, and behold my suffering. My maidens and my young men have gone into captivity. I called to my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests and elders perished in the city while they sought food to revive their strength. Behold, O Lord, for I am in distress. My soul is in tumult, tumultuous tumult, tumult. My heart is wrung within me because I have been very rebellious. In the street, the sword bereaves. In the house, it is like death. Hear how I groan. There is none to comfort me. All my enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it. Bring thou the day thou hast announced. Let them be as I am. Let all their evil doing come before thee, and deal with them as thou hast dealt with me, because of all my transgressions. For my groans are many, and my heart is full. Lamentations of Jeremiah. A mod muted your messages. That's weird. Hi, David. Thank you for joining Amethyst. Thanks, Heather. Yeah, I'm getting old, so I need reading glasses now. Thanks, guys. We're gonna do one more and we're gonna end the live stream. So okay? We'll do a few more here. Matthew chapter 5, verse 11. Blessed are you when men revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for so men persecuted the prophets who were before you. And we'll also do verse 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. And verse 24. Leave your gift there before the altar and go. First be reconciled to your brother and then come and offer your gift. And verse 5 to, verse 5. And when you pray, you must not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and at the street corners, that they may be seen by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward. And how about verse 14? For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father also will forgive you. But if you do not forgive men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. And one more, 19 to 21. Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust consume, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consumes, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Right. So thank you for coming to my channel, guys. What's on my cheek? It's a pimple patch. I got zit right here. Oh man. All right. That's what's up, guys. Thank you for so much for coming to my stream. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? I really appreciate you guys. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Sergio. Um, thank you, Valina. Thank you, Bill. Much love. Uh, thank you, Saints. Yes, it's thank you, Valina. Oh, Psalm 19, 11 to 12. We'll do one more. We'll do that one. Okay, we'll read that one psalm. Okay, we'll do that. Chapter 19, 11 to 12. Times 91, 11 to 12. Okay, we'll do that. 91. For he will give his angels charge of you to guard you in all your ways. On their hands they will bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. That's a beautiful, beautiful. In fact, I'll highlight that. It was 11. Yeah, very nice. I mean, this whole chapter is really good. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. I haven't seen Fixa in a while. To see how that guy is. Thank you very much, Ganchi. Thank you. Thank you, ABH. Um, thank you, Thank you, X8 H80. Thank you, Too Cool. Thank thank you, Marmar. Thank you, Silky Bud. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you next time, okay? God bless you. Stay strong.